Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
If the sweet taste in your daily diet soda actually primes your brain to crave even more food, would you still crack the can open? Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. I'm Ethan Foster, here to guide you through today's deep dive into sucralose and why that zero-calorie label isn't helping you.
And I'm Alara Sky. Together, we're unpacking research showing how sucralose, often sold as Splenda, may be pushing your hunger into overdrive, disturbing your gut, and even dulling your immune defenses. If you've been leaning on artificial sweeteners to control weight, you'll want to stay with us.
Let's start with the headline finding. Scientists at the University of Southern California scanned volunteers' brains after they drank water, table sugar, or sucralose. The sweetener switched on regions tied to hunger and motivation, your hypothalamus and reward circuits, without delivering calories. That mismatch left participants physiologically primed to eat more.
The study followed 75 adults aged 18 to 35, spanning lean to obese. Each person visited 3 times and received a different beverage at each visit. Functional MRI tracked brain blood flow, while blood tests measured insulin and GLP-1, hormones that normally tell you you're satisfied.
After the sucralose drink, insulin and GLP-1 barely moved. Your brain got the sweetness signal, but your metabolism never received confirmation that fuel arrived. That silence keeps the hunger dial up. Imaging also showed tighter wiring between the hypothalamus and the anterior cingulate cortex, the network that weighs risks and rewards.
Women and individuals already carrying extra weight showed the strongest response. Their lateral hypothalamus lit up almost twice as strongly as men's. The change appeared minutes after a single drink.
Those brain changes are just the first layer. When researchers widened the lens to the gut, they saw more trouble. 10 weeks of modest sucralose intake, below so-called acceptable daily limits, triggered gut dysbiosis, shifting beneficial firmicutes downward and tilting the microbial balance toward inflammation.
That imbalance matters because those same firmicute strains help regulate glucose and insulin sensitivity. Displace them, and blood sugar control deteriorates. Animal studies echo this. Mice fed sucralose experienced worse colon inflammation and liver stress. The chemical also raised intestinal pH and cut beneficial bacteria by half.
Immune health took a hit too. A Nature study showed mice consuming human-equivalent safe doses mounted weaker T-cell responses against infections and tumors. When sucralose was removed, immune vigor returned, underscoring a direct, reversible suppression tied to the sweetener.
Mechanistically, researchers traced that dampening to changes in T-cell membrane fluidity and reduced calcium signaling, key steps for immune coordination. A packet promising guilt-free sweetness may quietly lower your defenses against pathogens and rogue cells.
Put the findings together, and a clear picture forms. Sucralose confuses your brain, disrupts your microbiome, and blunts immune capacity, all while keeping you hungry. Calorie-free sweetness sounds appealing, but the biological cost shows up as cravings, metabolic strain, and lowered defenses.
The first practical step is simple yet powerful. Remove artificial sweeteners entirely. Check labels on diet sodas, protein powders, sugar-free gums, and light yogurts. If they list sucralose, aspartame, or acesulfame potassium, swap them out. Your taste buds may protest for a week, but your signaling pathways will thank you.
Next, retrain your palate with whole, naturally sweet foods. Fresh berries, a crisp apple, or orange slices deliver fiber plus polyphenols. Your gut bacteria love. Raw honey or a splash of maple syrup, used sparingly, can bridge the transition without reigniting the confusion cycle.
If you're wrestling with fatigue or unstable blood sugar while detoxing from artificial sweeteners, sip water mixed with a small amount of dextrose over several hours. That provides clean glucose without chemical tricks, smoothing energy dips during adjustment.
Track your hunger cues. Before and after meals, jot quick notes. How intense is your craving? How satisfied do you feel? Over a few weeks, noise turns into signal. Steady, predictable appetite instead of sharp spikes driven by sucralose.
Support immune repair with nutrient-dense staples. Grass-fed meats, bone broth, eggs, collagen-rich cuts, and brightly colored produce. Every bite sends information. By staying off artificial sweeteners long-term, you let T cells and gut microbes coordinate effectively again.
Let's summarize. 1. Sucralose activates hunger circuits without calories, driving you to eat more. 2. It silences hormones of fullness, leaving insulin and GLP-1 muted. 3. 10 weeks is enough to disrupt your microbiome and raise inflammation.
4. The sweetener suppresses immune surveillance by impairing T cell activation, an effect reversed only when sucralose is removed. 5. Women and individuals with obesity are particularly vulnerable. Knowing this helps you make decisive choices about what goes into your glass.
Listeners often ask if occasional sucralose is harmless. Data show measurable neural and hormonal shifts after just one drink. If you want controlled appetite and stable energy, consistency, not moderation, is the safer path.
Another concern is losing sweetness. Your taste receptors recalibrate within weeks. Real fruit starts tasting sweeter, and cravings drop because hormonal signals finally match genuine nourishment.
For microbiome recovery, feed those microbes with fiber-rich vegetables, fermented foods like sauerkraut, and prebiotic starches such as cooked and cooled potatoes. Removing the disruptor is the catalyst. The right foods complete the repair.
If immune resilience tops your list, the answer isn't another supplement. It's eliminating the blocker. Sucralose-related immune suppression lifts when intake stops. That makes your flu shot work better, your wound healing faster, and your cancer surveillance sharper.
Everything we've discussed converges on one principle. Your body recognizes real inputs and gets confused by artificial ones. When taste, calories, hormones, and microbes speak the same language, you feel steady hunger, balanced mood, and reliable immunity.
Here's your challenge. Today, remove one processed snack or drink that contains sucralose or any artificial sweetener and replace it with a whole food option. Experience the difference in your hunger and energy.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.